All right, if you're a Toyota owner, you probably know that sinking feeling in your stomach when the dashboard suddenly lights up like a Christmas tree. Well, today we are going to demystify one of the most confusing culprits out there, the C1201 error code. Let's dig in and figure out what your car is really trying to tell you.
So, picture this. You're just driving along, minding your own business, and then, bam! The check engine light, the VSC light, and the track off light all decide to turn on at the exact same time. It's alarming, to say the least. Your mind probably jumps straight to some catastrophic failure with your brakes or stability system. But what if I told you that's almost never the real story?
So, you do the right thing. You grab your OBD2 scanner, you plug it in, and it spits out this one code, C1201, which reads Engine Control System Malfunction. Now, the name itself sounds pretty serious, and it points you right back to the engine. And right here, this is where the confusion and a whole lot of wasted time and money usually begins.
And this is the absolute key to understanding this whole thing. That C120 code, it's not the actual problem. Think of it more like a messenger, just trying to let you know that the real issue is hiding somewhere else entirely. That's right. For all intents and purposes, this code is basically misleading you. So many drivers, and honestly even some mechanics, see this code pop up, they see those VSC and track lights, and their mind immediately goes to a big, expensive fix in the brake or stability control system. But 9 times out of 10, that's just not what's going on. So on one hand, you have what it looks like, this scary, serious fault with your vehicle's stability control. But what it really is much, much simpler. It's just a secondary signal, kind of like a, hey, pay attention from your car's main brain, the engine control module. So what in the world is a secondary code? Well, think of it like this. It's a generic alert that only gets triggered because something else went wrong first. It's pointing you to the symptom, in this case, the stability system shutting down, but it's not telling you about the actual disease that's causing it. Okay, here's a perfect analogy to make this crystal clear. The C1201 code is like the main fire alarm for the whole building. It's loud, it's impossible to ignore, and it tells you there's a problem somewhere. But it doesn't tell you where. To find the real source of the trouble, you've got to look for the other codes. You know, the smoke detector going off in the kitchen. That's where the fire is. All right, so we know not to shoot the messenger. The real question is, how do we find the actual culprit? Let's get into the primary faults that this code is really pointing us toward. Here's the logic happening inside your car's brain. The main engine computer, the ECM, has spotted a problem with how the engine is running. So as a safety measure, it just disables the vehicle stability and traction control systems. Why? Because it can't guarantee the engine will deliver power predictably. It's a failsafe. The car is basically saying, hey, I can't manage stability if the power source itself is acting up.
So, the mission is to find the primary codes, and these are usually the P codes, P for powertrain. These are going to point you to the real issues, and we're talking about all the usual suspects here. Things like engine misfires, a bad oxygen sensor or mass airflow sensor, worn-out spark plugs, or even something as simple as low battery voltage or a bad ground wire.
And chances are, you've probably felt these underlying problems while you're driving. That primary fault often comes with really noticeable symptoms, right? Like a rough, shaky idle, a sudden loss of power when you hit the gas, or that awful jerky feeling during acceleration. Your car might even throw in the towel and go into limp mode, which severely cuts power just to protect the engine from further damage. Okay, so the theory is great, but what do you actually do about it? Let's walk through a super clear 5-step action plan to get this whole thing sorted out. Okay, here is your game plan. Step 1, and this is crucial. Scan for all the codes. Your basic little code reader might not cut it. You really want a scanner that can talk to both the engine and the ABS computer systems. Step 2, hunt down those P codes and focus all your energy there. That is the root cause. Diagnose and repair that first. Step 3, while you're at it, just check the basics. Make sure your battery is good, check that the ground connections are clean and tight. You'd be amazed what these simple things can cause. Step 4, do a quick visual inspection of the wheel speed sensors and their wiring. Are they caked in dirt? Is a wire frayed? And finally, step 5. After you've fixed the real problem, clear all the codes from the system and take your car for a nice test drive to make sure those lights stay off for good. Now look, if you've done all of that, and those pesky lights pop right back on, don't beat yourself up about it. That's your signal that it's probably time to see a professional. They've got the high-end tools to check for more complicated stuff, like a communication breakdown between the car's different computer systems.
So, as we start to wrap this up, if there is just one thing you take away from all this, I want it to be this. This is the entire mindset you need to tackle this code successfully.
I love this quote from one of the sources because it just cuts right through all the noise. It says it perfectly. When you see a C1201 code, your first reaction should be to basically just ignore it and go scan for any other codes. That's your true north. That's the real mission. And here's the best news of all. You don't even have to worry about the C1201 code itself. Once you fix that primary engine fault, whether it was swapping a bad ignition coil or just tightening a loose gas cap, the C1201 code and all those scary dashboard lights will just disappear, all on their own. The messenger's job is done. So, the next time your dashboard lights up, take a breath. Don't panic, and just ask yourself, what is my car really trying to tell me? Think of it less as a failure and more like a conversation. These codes, these lights, they're just your car's way of pointing you toward what truly needs your attention. Thanks for tuning in.